Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of my video series entitled Activating Your Creative Heart. My name is Gideon Crowcamp, and I'm also known as Gideonslight. I'm a certified creatively fit coach, life coach and artist, and in this series we explore creativity outside of the normal understanding of that of the artistic world. I wanted to start this episode in my garden to just recap some of the things that we discussed in episode 1. In episode 1, I really introduced you to the idea that creativity is part of our DNA. It is part of our blueprint, so to speak. And in exploring nature together, we saw that nature finds a creative way to survive and to thrive. And we as a humanity is part of that creation, is obviously included in that creative aspect as well. So I wanted to bring you to my garden also because I lacked one very good example in my first episode, and that was to showcase to you how animals really make use of creativity as well. In my garden I have a beautiful leopard tree, and a beautiful weaver family of birds has made their nests in this beautiful leopard tree, and I wanted to show you how creative they are in weaving their nests. So all summer long I've been looking at them building nests, destroying nests and trying again. And that just really made me understand that, even an animal is using creativity to solve problems, to construct things, and to survive and to build something that gives them shelter, that protects them and helps them to thrive. And I want to show you that now. I'm hoping that the little weaver, who is the boss of this tree, so to speak, will come around. He is flying around here. I can hear him sing. It's really one male that has built these incredible nests. I'm going to try and zoom in for you. He's also responsible for picking off all the leaves on these branches. So some days when he's in this environment, he really goes to town. You can see how much leaves are on this side of the tree and how empty this side is. So sometimes I'm standing in my garden and it's raining down little leaves on the grass below. It takes a lot of creativity to build these nests out of little grass blades and little shreds of palm leaves that I saw him tear, and all kinds of other debris that they pick up, almost in a way like I did in episode 1. And then to fly here and to weave it through, there he is, and to build this beautiful nest. I love their bird song. So this is the bird that sings me awake in the morning from 4:30 in the morning, and then continues to playful expression throughout the entire day. So in this episode, we are going to explore creativity through mindfulness. Every part of our body makes part of this creative expression. Creative expression is a body, mind, soul thing. When we have new ideas, scientists describes the new neurons that are firing in our brain, the synapses. They compare this with fireworks. So really, having a creative idea is an explosion in our brain of light and of fire. The word brainstorm is such a good example of this. We can use brainstorming as a deliberate exercise to find solutions, to literally, so to speak, think outside of the box. And for that exercise, we utilize our right brain hemisphere. When we use a brainstorm activity to think outside the box, we use it to develop new ideas, new products, and new experiences. See how I accentuate the word new, because new also leads to new experiences, and that can be replaced with creativity, because it takes creativity to create anything new. So, it is only fitting that in this episode we explore the mind, or the brain so to speak, to explore creativity. And I will attempt through this episode to demonstrate to you that every human being, past, present and future, already possesses everything that they need in order to be creative. So come join me and activate your creative heart as we explore mindfulness as a way to be creative. So let's explore the left and the right brain. And to do that, I'm just going to bring you to my art journal, and I'm just going to illustrate this for you through a simple drawing of our brain. So we have a left brain hemisphere, and we all have a right brain hemisphere, right? So let's get creative here and just illustrate some of these brain matter. And also our right brain. And the interesting thing to note about our left brain and our right brain is, on first examination, it really looks exactly the same. It's basically the same size, it's the same width. These two lobes fit together. But there's two very big differences between the two. So let's look at that. So the left brain and the right brain serves two very distinct functions in our mind. The left brain is where the ego or personality of the person resides or functions through, might be a better description. And the right brain is where your soul or higher self or higher consciousness resides or functions through. The ego is all about I. So it is me and myself versus the world. The right brain experiences our world as unity, we or us. So it is all inclusive. The left brain thinks in words or numbers. The right brain thinks with feelings and is visualizing. The left brain thinks in sequence. So there's a starting point, there's a linear play of events, and then there is the next step. The right brain functions in flow and intuition. The left brain only references the past because it's the only thing that it knows, and it worries about the future. The right brain is focused in the present moment. The left brain functions with logic, and the right brain functions with art. The left brain is automatic. You know, when you learn something and it becomes part of your muscular memory, like driving a car or riding a bicycle, you don't think about it anymore. It's just an action. Your left brain really is in charge of that, and your right brain works through mindfulness. In sequencing, I also want to add the difference here to the right brain. Oh, it was in reference to numbers. We also have rhythm. So the left brain thinks in numbers, the right brain thinks or feels in rhythm. So you can see here the difference between the two. The left brain is very robotic in a way, and the right brain is far more organic. It's all about feeling. It's about experiencing texture. Our senses work through the right brain. So it's smell, sight, hearing, feeling, color, vibration, all of the above. So this is really a very colorful aspect of our right brain, and the left brain is very much white and black. It's very dualistic, right or wrong. And that is perfectly fine, because we need both the left brain and the right brain to function. The left brain is not the villain in the story. The left brain is there to serve our personality. It really helps to keep us safe. It helps you to remember that the last time you put your finger on the hot stove, it burned, and therefore this time, because of that past experience, it remembers that it caused pain and injury to the body. So it is warning you with big warning signs of a pang of fear or anxiety, a rush of adrenaline, to remind yourself that this will cause injury, to not do it again. The only problem with the left brain and being so dependent on the left brain is that it prevents you from experiencing anything new. So this is where the block lies when we say to you, we are all creative. The left brain says to you, that is not true, because in the past I experienced it difficult to draw. It didn't come naturally to me, and therefore I have decided that I am not creative and it is not for me. On the other side, being completely right brain minded can also cause problems, because this is where people might describe you as a daydreamer. You are not, completely functional. You are always off in fairyland and creating wishful ideas, wishful thinking, really being so disconnected from reality and being a practical person that it is sometimes difficult to make you engage with practical tasks like taking care of your body, washing your hair, brushing your teeth, putting on clean clothes, and taking care of your environment and so forth. So you can really see that we do need both right brain and left brain to function. Our current schooling system focuses on developing the left brain because of its ability to function logically and mathematically. And of course, we need these abilities to function in our modern world that is very complicated and based in technology and sciences. But there is a downside to this. Since creative development has been removed from our schooling system, I believe that this has become part of the problem. It supports that belief system that I am not creative because I am not an artist. And even though we can go to an art museum and enjoy beautiful art, we have an appreciation for beautiful things, I believe that the artistic world even is influenced by this left-brained audience, because we see films and artwork and entertainment taking on a very left brain orientation in order to satisfy our audience. So we see a lot of violence, we see a lot of addiction, we see a lot of graphicness that really stimulates the ego mind that is based in fear, and very little beauty and flow is really exhibited in our artwork these days, albeit not completely absent. Now, before I get completely dark and grim on you here, I'm here to remind you that we all have a right brain and that we can all exercise our right brain. And that is exactly where activating the creative heart comes to play. I, as a creatively fit coach, am here to remind you that your right brain really is just like a muscle that is underdeveloped. It is like going to the gym and only exercising your left side. So the left side of your body is fit, it is trim, it is strong, it is beautiful. And the right side of your body is underdeveloped, it looks weak, it looks timid, and it doesn't have the strength that the left side has. So really, making use of the creatively fit coach and involving yourself in a creative practice is the best way to exercise your right brain hemisphere and to get into contact again with that aspect of you that really is flowing on autopilot in the background. It is a mindful and intentional decision and action to engage in a creative practice, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. All that is required is a willingness to open up and to step into a creative practice with an open mind and a willingness to experience something new. As a creatively fit coach, it is my role and function to help people through mindfulness and through creative exercises to connect with their right brain in a mindful and meaningful way. The method that I use as a creatively fit coach is to take you, the viewer, to the canvas. This method has been proven time and time again to be the most effective. There is no correct or wrong way to develop your right brain hemisphere, and it can be done through various creative exercises ranging from doodling all the way to painting at the canvas, to pottery, to any hobby that you actively have to be creative in. So to see a creatively fit coach to help you to develop your right brain and to explore your creative nature, I take you to the canvas. And at the canvas, it becomes quite a phenomenon to see how you express yourself creatively. And in that way, there is no right or wrong. Because remember, I've said this many times before in maybe other broadcasts, that a creative practice and process is focusing not so much on the end product, but on the process. It is the in the moment experience of what it feels like to express yourself creatively that is focused on and that is most important. Of course, in the end, we do end up with a product, and it is beautiful to look at, and it is something that can be developed through practice. I think so many times people maybe go to an art class and they think it's really elementary. They pick up a brush or a pencil or a piece of charcoal to draw, and then they discover that they function through their left brain and they become over analytical. Every line, every mark is criticized, and it is thought of as a waste of time, incorrect, improper, and not correct. And what happens is, because of that judgment, really, we place the brush down, we put the pencil or chalk down, and we come to the conclusion that this is evidence that you are not creative. I want to stress again that there is a vast difference between creativity and artistic skill or ability. Artistic skill and ability, yes, can be gifted or talented, and in some very gifted people it comes very naturally, and that might not happen for all of us. It certainly didn't happen for me. I'm a self-taught artist. I didn't attend art school, and I think the last art lesson I attended before becoming a creatively fit coach was in grade 7. So in my adult years, I've always lingered and yearned, really desired to be creative, to have that ability to paint and to create something beautiful. I was surrounded with what I perceived as artistic people that naturally had this ability to create beautiful art. And that always separated me from them, because I thought I couldn't attend art school, that door didn't open for me, and therefore I will never be able to create art as beautiful as them. Fast forward to the year 2017, and I enroll in the Creatively Fit Coach training program with Whitney Freya, where I really learned to embrace the artist within myself. It is through that training that I came to the same understanding that I am now communicating to you, that creativity is part of our human makeup, and that artistic skill and ability is something that can be developed through practice. So the next time you pick up a brush to paint something or a pencil to draw something and you become really critical of that process, remind yourself that you are viewing your experience through your left brain. So in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you through a very simple doodling exercise how you can switch over from your left brain into your right brain, and how to recognize when you are flowing through your right brain and not trying to force something through control and very regimented, straightforward, controlled lines of that of the left brain. So join me as I show you how to switch to your right brain and how to recognize when you are flowing through your right brain in a creative practice. I'll see you in the next segment. Right, so for this part of the exercise, I'm going back to my art journal and I'm just going to be using Sharpie fine point markers, permanent markers. So I really want to demonstrate the point of mindfulness to you in this creative exercise that anyone can do. So I'm going to start to do a basic doodle, and with doodling I mean a basic line drawing, and I'm going to keep it really simple in that sense that I'm only going to be using a basic shape. So just to illustrate that, there is basic shapes. We all know this: square, triangle, circle, a plus or a cross, and so forth. So there's a number of ones that's maybe a little bit more of a combination of these and so forth, but these are basic shapes. So for this demonstration of mindfulness, I am going to be using only squares, and that is definitely something that anybody can do, right? So the other aspect of my journey is I've decided to use the entire spectrum of color, ranging from violet all the way down to red. And for the duration of this exercise, I am basically not going to speak to you. I think the one thing that we have to recognize to switch over from our left brain to our right brain is to turn the mouth off. When we stop talking, then we automatically want to just continue to think, especially thinking in words and so forth. But in this creative exercise that we will do here, I want you to become mindful of how it is that you create your shapes. So you must try to do it as neat and tidy as possible, to be present with every line that you are drawing. And the minute that you recognize that you are mindlessly drawing, that's usually when we start drawing incorrect lines, or we make a mistake, or it becomes messy or rushed, or we recognize that we are beginning to think about other things like, oh, I need to remember to take the washing off the line, or what am I making for dinner tonight, and so forth. Be kind to yourself when you recognize in that moment that you are stepping out of the present moment, which is the exercise that you are doing, and you are stepping either into the past, thinking about things that happened earlier this morning or yesterday, or already planning what you're going to do in the future. And when you recognize that, just take a breath, come back to the present moment, and focusing back in on what it is you are doing right now. That is being mindful. And in that mindful moment, you will realize you get to a point in your creation where things become quiet and you really become present with every line that you are drawing. You become peaceful, you become still. And I want you to take notice of what you are feeling before your exercise, during your exercise, and at the end of your exercise. So let's try this. Right, how creative did that feel? You are challenged to go to a piece of paper with a marker, a pen, a pencil, even in your diary on the side margin, and begin a little creative practice with doodling. Doodling is so accessible to everybody in every walk of life, and it is such an easy thing to do in your busy schedule, in your busy life. So that is definitely one way to begin a creative practice without having to lift the finger, so to speak. Everything you need is right at hand. So take the time and make it an intentional decision to do a 5-minute doodle exercise every day in your diary, on your year planner, on a piece of paper, whatever that may be, and just be mindful when you do that doodle exercise and begin to exercise your right brain hemisphere. It's as simple as that. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about a creatively fit coaching session and how I can help you to become creatively fit, there is so many ways that you can make contact with me and get access to the programs that I offer, the workshops that is available, and the one-on-one coaching that I offer. So you can find me by searching my handle and my hashtag Gideonslight. You will see that I have a channel on YouTube, I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram account, and I have a Vimeo video account as well. So I will provide you with my Linktree link. It will flash on the screen now, and it will also be in the description below. So use that to find me on the social media platform that suits you. And I'm looking forward to be of service to you real soon. In our next episode, we are going to explore creativity through playfulness, and I'm looking forward to sharing that very colorful episode with you real soon. I'll see you at the canvas. Bye bye.